Alright, so I assume you just saw this movie and are wondering what the hell you just watched? Or maybe you don't have 2 hours but want to understand what all the hype is about? Either way, you're in the right place. This is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once in 5 minutes. In China, years before the start of the film, Evelyn is born to a father who's extremely hard on her. She meets and falls in love with Wayman, and they run away together to America despite the wishes of her father. They open a laundromat and have a daughter named Joy who becomes rebellious and starts to drift away from her family. Evelyn's mother dies, and her father comes to live out the remaining years of his life with her in America. We pick up with the Wongs in the morning they have an important meeting with the IRS to discuss irregularities found during a recent audit of their business. They also plan to throw a party that evening celebrating the Chinese New Year. Wayman wants to talk to Evelyn about getting a divorce, but she won't listen to him, feeling as if she's the only one keeping their lives afloat. Joy wants to tell her grandfather Gong Gong about her girlfriend Becky, but Evelyn intercedes, providing the latest example of her refusing to accept the direction Joy has chosen for her life. She runs after Joy as she leaves, trying to repair the situation, but only manages to demonstrate an inability to speak to her daughter with empathy and respect. Her father treated her harshly, and she's making the same mistake with her daughter. And this ends the prologue of the film. Part 1 begins with Evelyn, Wayman, and Gong Gong heading to the IRS for their meeting with the auditor. In the elevator ride up, Wayman suddenly turns into a different person. He tells Evelyn she may be in grave danger and leaves odd instructions with her before returning to his normal self. When the meeting with Deirdre, the IRS agent, begins to go south, Evelyn follows those instructions and is transported into the janitor's closet of a parallel universe. Inside the janitor's closet is the same version of Wayman from the elevator. He explains that he's from a different universe where there's a great evil taking over and spreading chaos. He spent years searching for the person who can match that great evil, and his search has brought him to Evelyn. Before he can divulge any more information, a different version of Deirdre breaks into the closet and kills Wayman before knocking Evelyn unconscious. She's jolted back into the original universe, confused and disoriented. This version of Deirdre gives them until the end of the day to provide the documentation she needs, and through a series of compounding miscommunications with Wayman, including finding out about the divorce papers, and also wanting to prove to her father that she doesn't always run from her problems, she mistakes Deirdre as an attacker and punches her, setting off chaos in her original reality. As she escapes building security and otherworldly assassins, she learns about the Elfverse, verse jumping, and the evil multi-dimensional being Jobu Topaki, who is building a powerful weapon. After a few false starts, Evelyn learns to verse jump on her own, adopting the skills she learned from an alternate life path in which she didn't run away with Wayman to America but instead became a kung fu master and successful actor. Evelyn learns that it was she who discovered verse jumping in the Alphaverse and that Joy was the best at verse jumping. Alpha Evelyn pushed Alpha Joy too far and essentially broke her, forcing her to exist in all realities simultaneously. Jobu Topaki is Joy, and the weapon she has is a black hole she created after attempting to put literally everything on a bagel. Evelyn determines that she has to become like Jobu in order to defeat her and save Joy. She jumps back and forth through many universes, learning more about her different life paths and accumulating the skills needed to repel new attackers. These life paths include the aforementioned kung fu movie star, in addition to ones where she's a famous singer, a pizza sign spinner, a teppanyaki chef, and even Deirdre's lukewarm lover in a universe where everyone has hot dogs for fingers. Eventually, Jobu shows up, and Evelyn appears to die from all the verse jumping she's been doing. We even get a fake in-credit sequence. Evelyn awakes in a parallel universe in which she didn't punch Deirdre, but instead returned home to complete her taxes. This begins part 2 of the film. Everyone's in the laundromat preparing for the party that evening. Jobu is there in the body of Joy, and they continue to fight in different universes before finally sitting down to discuss why all of this is happening. Jobu's search for this Evelyn was not to kill her, but to find the one person who could see and feel what she could. Evelyn decides things would have been better if she'd never met Wayman and had taken a different life path. She proceeds to rain down chaos in all of her different realities, including refusing to file her taxes in the current universe. All of this chaos leads to another meltdown where she once again breaks into many pieces and this time literally hits rock bottom. She and Joy have an important heart-to-heart in a universe where they're both rocks. Jobu confesses she didn't build the bagel as a weapon but to kill herself. It's an escape hatch from the pain of existing in all universes at once, and she wants Evelyn to go into the bagel with her so she doesn't have to do it alone. Back at the laundromat, Wayman mends things with Deirdre, buying more time to complete the audit. Evelyn asks how he did it, and she learns that she isn't going to save Joy by turning into Jobu. She's going to save her daughter by being empathetic and vulnerable like her husband. Evelyn wakes up in the original universe, the one where she did punch Deirdre, where Jobu is preparing to throw herself into the bagel. Evelyn quickly jumps to all of her other key universes and repairs the chaos she previously caused, this time using kindness and empathy. She then uses the same tactics to defeat everyone in the original universe who stands between her and her daughter. Evelyn finally reaches Jobu and pulls her back from the bagel, but Evelyn's father intercedes, once again refusing to accept the direction she's chosen for her life, and they finally have a conversation decades overdue about how easily he disowned her after she ran away with Wayman. Back at the laundromat, Evelyn introduces Becky as Joy's girlfriend, And after a last-minute fight sequence with Joy in a similar conversation that was also decades overdue, Evelyn finally saves Joy from entering the bagel and killing herself. In the end, Evelyn has repaired her relationships with Wayman and Joy, found peace with her overbearing father, finished the Alpha Versus mission, and though still unfinished, has successfully brought the audit closer to completion. And there you have it. This was one of my favorite films of the year, and I hope this helped you appreciate it from a more bird's eye point of view. I'm going to have a longer video out analyzing the film in more detail, but until then you can check out these two I did on Glass Onion and Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and for the rest of you, I'm Tyler, and this was Film Session.